One moment, internet. Sorry. Sorry for the delay. Just adjusting something. Forgot about on this particular streaming service. There we go. And oh my, I'm like paying attention to one site. We're not realizing I'm all in shambles on this side. All right, sorry for the delay, internet dwellers. Okay, I'm having technical difficulties on every website, it appears. Your connection has been rejected. Tell me that's not some sad shit. Okay, let's figure this out. Maybe I didn't put this in right. Copy. Plagued by issues tonight. Mm-mm. All right. Please. No. All right. Streaming. Yay. Hopefully. Um. Well, yeah. Today we're going to be covering just some difficult to tread water because it's dealing with someone who I've grown to have a great deal of respect for and love for, RFK Jr. Um, Someone who I was like looking forward to seeing his candidacy. I know they would never allow him to be the Democratic nominee. If he ever gained too much power, it would be somewhat similar to 2016 or 2020 Bernie, whichever one you want to go to. 2020 is like when he went full blown evil. It's like when Anakin became Darth Vader. You know, he was talking about healthcare for all. Then we have a pandemic, and instead he gives money to Nazis instead of fighting for healthcare for all when the Democrats have a majority. Doesn't call them out, just disgusting betrayal of everything he claimed to stand for. So I understood, someone like RFK's message couldn't really be accepted by the Democrats, except for one faction of the people who fund the Democrats, and that is the Israel lobby, right? Because he is a hardcore terror state funder. He loves. He ended up shitting, like giving praise to um, Pink Floyd's lead singer, um, and then he ended up taking it back once he found out that he was standing up for the Palestinian cause and other victims of Western colonialism. But to see him turn his back on the Palestinians, it was just kind of like, how do you even arrive at this position? Like he understands war is all bullshit, and he saw that the CIA killed his uncle. He could acknowledge that, but when it comes to his dad, he's not so sure. If you don't know the history of RFK Sr. and his assassination, some people speculate. Well, and this is we're getting into conspiracy theory territory. I don't consider myself a conspiracy theorist. I do believe in the theory of conspiracy, kind of like the theory of gravity. Conspiracies exist. Like there are definitely people conspiring against the general populace. I think that's just hard to dispute. You know that when you see corporations that will always make billions of dollars because they have the backing of your government, that's fascism, right? And it's just like the biggest government backed corporations are the biggest. They have the richest people in the world, and they have lobbyists that go and funnel money into these people to continue this corruption, which should be illegal. So there are definitely people conspiring. CIA. If you look into the history of any of their major operations, Paperclip, Gladio, that's them having Nazis infiltrate the U.S. government, NATO, all that stuff. So it's kind of common sense, just generally accepted that what the government said about JFK um, is bullshit. You know, they tried to suppress it. The term conspiracy theorist started popping up to just suppress some of those ideas that people were popping up with, just in case, you know, they didn't tie up all their loose ends. But yeah, I don't consider myself a conspiracy theorist, is because a conspiracy is something to be analyzed. Um, I'm more of a conspiracy aficionado. Like I go about conspiracies like some hardcore winos go about wine, you know, where they smell it, they get the bouquet of the conspiracy. Does it pass the smell test? Does it stink like shit? You know, like something like um, the idea of Russians blowing up their own pipeline, something like that. That's a conspiracy that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't pass the smell test. But then, you know, depending on how much truth it is, uh, you know, I dig into conspiracies, and I appreciate their complexity and take time to savor their flavor. Uh, Now, there are some conspiracies that don't come across as total bullshit because they make the world make a lot more sense. Like when you look into the history of our intelligence agencies and all the evil shit they did, the fact that none of them were ever held accountable, the fact that they run all of our media, social media institutions, they have the ability to censor people like RFK. You know, it's definitely people conspiring, but I'm just an aficionado of the conspiracy. I savor the flavor and figure out which ones make sense to me. Now, one that I've been formulating that isn't really mainstream, or you know, you might find kooky, is RFK Jr. There's been a long going conspiracy theory that uh, Sirhan, the guy who killed RFK Sr., who was also Palestinian, was a product of the MK Ultra project um, that the CIA had implemented, and he was supposed to be like a Manchurian style candidate. Matter of fact, the movie Manchurian Candidate came out right before RFK Sr. was killed, and it was all kinds of anomalies where he was killed, like the fact they said that no bullets from Sirhan's gun entered RFK. There were more bullets than he had in his gun. No one saw him reload, and they said the final shot came from a different direction than where he was. Um, but you know, if you're not familiar with the idea of a Manchurian candidate, is someone who was exposed to torture, long term conditioning, and then they just get like a code word, go in and do their objective, and you know, they don't remember it. You know, like they're in a state of hypnosis basically. So it's just like, you know, there's been a long standing theory that this Palestinian was programmed by the CIA, And it's just like, yeah, the fact that he was also Palestinian probably was also meant to vilify the Palestinian people. It's kind of like, you know, they had a coup of um, Iran back in the 1950s to overthrow their democratically elected leadership and install someone who's just going to give Britain all their oil for nothing. Uh, and yeah, and around the lead up, they started vilifying Muslims. You know, they had the Black Muslim movement. Malcolm X was initially a part of, you know, the Nation of Islam with the dishonorable Elijah Muhammad. They had their loggerheads. He had to walk away, but he was talking about how the higher ups in the Nation of Islam were working with the government, with the Rockwell Nazis, to just create division. And they didn't want him to get politically involved. That's when he started getting in trouble, and that's when he became a target. But not just them, but you know, just the government in general, CIA, FBI, all these motherfuckers. So, yeah, I think there's just, you know, it could be just a coincidence that a Palestinian killed uh, RFK's dad, and he just so happens to be the biggest Israel, let's call him Israeli cum gobbler. Like a, you know, like he just goes farther, thinks they should get all kinds of weapons that would enable them to kill a lot more Palestinians. Maybe it's because he hates Palestinians because of, like, he actually believes um, that Sirhan was, you know, representative of the Palestinian state, and he just thinks, you know, you know, good riddance with him. Or he could know that the Israeli government was involved. They were extremely crazy, and he saw like the depths of their soul, how far they're willing to go to reach their objectives, who they're willing to kill, and he's just playing along. He knows he won't get the Democratic nominee, but he can get them to you know, keep them from just being totally destroyed. And he's just holding on until he could be a vice president of someone like Cornel West, and then he could be like, "Oh yeah, I was going to do all this stuff for you, but Cornel West is in charge of the military funding that we would give to you." And Cornel West, you know, I know he would be more about uh, uh, resolving things with the Palestinians. That's his whole cause. That's why it's just. I know I said it in the beginning when Cornel West said that he was going to run for president, but um, you know, I know RFK is not going to be allowed to be a Democrat, and frankly, if they let him run as a Democrat, I wouldn't trust him. You know, I would think they perform some sort of a Manchurian candidate controls on him. So he'll talk a good game. He gets in. They say the code word, and he becomes another Joe Biden. I don't know. I am concerned when he starts saying Joe Biden is my friend. That's the same shit. I think that was the code word for Bernie. Like he said, once he started saying Joe Biden is my friend, he just got progressively worse. And just like he said that he would give Joe Biden his support before anybody else had a debate or anything. He was just like full support behind Joe Biden, like one of the most evil motherfuckers. But yeah, this is the video that kind of illustrates the issues I had with RFK's position on Israel.
Mr. Candy, a lot of people are confused about the tweet storm. I call it the tweet heard around the world. A couple of tweets were put up in support of Roger Waters and then taken down. Do you want to give us a little explanation of why they were taken down and also your stance on Israel and Palestine?
I tweeted that. I made the tweet applauding Roger Waters' courage in opposing the COVID mandates and the.
If you look at Dennis Kucinich, he was like, he started like folding up his arms. He's like, what is this motherfucker gonna say? because he's like more in support of Palestinian rights than RFK, and he's his um, campaign manager. And it's just like I think he has to know. There's no way he can't know that Israel is the villain in this whole situation. Um, but you know, you hear him speak, he starts sounding like a typical politician. As soon as he starts like trying to defend them, that's why it's just like I have to either believe that he knows what he's doing. He's got a plan to just be like, you know what, I'm just using y'all to raise up the rankings in the Democrat Party. I know they're not going to allow me to run, and then just put the kibosh on whatever plans they had. But like hearing him talk, just well, it gets crazier. But look at Dennis Kucinich, and he's just like this motherfucker's just he's pissing so many people off.
And the Ukraine war. I was unaware of his position on Israel. And when I learned that, I immediately took it down. My position of Israel is that I support Israel. I support my family has a long relationship with Israel.
A long relationship in that the people who they want to be exterminated, the Palestinians. One of them is arrested for killing his dad, and maybe like they took him to baseball games and they were like, yeah, we'll go after those Palestinian scum. Maybe he actually believes it. I like to hope he has an understanding that if we're going to be getting rid of these corporations, these giant leeches who are stealing our wealth, using it to oppress us, take our freedoms of speech, all the stuff that Americans used to hold dear, that we're just saying, oh yeah, freedom of speech is dangerous. All this shit, it's primarily funded by people like Israel, the Israeli lobby. If you don't know the history of me losing my largest channel, I posted a video, because it was like 3 random videos that got my shit taken down. So I posted a video, just explaining my position on it. I thought it was like, I'm like, how did these 3 random? None of them had violence. None of them had any of the things that you would associate with stuff that they would take down. It wasn't even breaking like a patent issue. I mean, a copyright issue. It was just randomly dumb videos, right? I posted my video. I had it explained to me about the Atlantic Council, how they had this power, these super users. And around that time, a bunch of people were taken off the internet just for questioning police brutality or police harassment. And I have videos of police harassing me. Multiple of them were getting pretty big. And then once I learned about the Atlantic Council, I started looking into it more. And I was the second second wave of censorship. First wave were the Palestinians or just anybody who was covering what the Israelis, their government was doing to the Palestinian people with our money, as they have health care for all, and we don't have any of this shit, but we fund their military, and we can't get it for ourselves because we have to overfund our military, and we fund all of the biggest dictatorships, and he's for helping the Palestinians. Yeah, so it's just like, can he be that on point when it comes to corporations understanding these evil entities, and then just like let this one get a pass? I hope he's not that naive, but he could be. But I think it's just he wants to be. It's just plausible deniability. He's like he'll get in as vice president of Cornell West. He'd be like, I got to focus on ending corporations, and Cornell West is in charge of foreign policy. I mean, this is a theory I'm working on. We'll know for sure once the Democrats roll over him, and if he gets in line and says support Joe Biden, I'll look at him just like Bernie Sanders. It's just like such a disappointment, waste of potential. But if he does run as VP or somehow, some way, just he could be the president, Cornell West vice president, however they work it. But like these 2 people in office, like Cornell West doing the foreign policy, I think that would be match made in heaven. Both of them haven't announced vice presidents, so that's why it seems more plausible for me. Hey Nate, what it do? what did it do? We were going over some conspiracies, getting my conspiracy connoisseur game up. I'm an aficionado of them, but yeah. And it's just it was I know it's like a spontaneous live, but I'm also getting ready for um, a trip to Cali, and then get back. I got two interviews so far. One of them is with councilwoman who tried to pass affordable housing rent control in Seattle, and it was shot down by a bunch of Democrats. The top two evil options. It's either Republican or Democrat. I don't vote for those. That's why I love. I went to the meeting yesterday, and they had this little saying. I'm gonna have to steal. I'm paraphrasing it, but it's something like, forget the elephant, forget the ass. We need a party for the working class." So she's leaving city council, saying it's mired in too much corruption. She wants to start like a national um, movement, and I want the interviewer get like her ideas on moving forward. Provide a few of my own, because well, I'll let you guys know when it's up. I'm looking forward to that. If you know Shama Swan is looking forward to it. You're on point with a lot of that shit, bro. Well, thank you. Wow. Good seeing you. There are Bay Area events happening in Sacramento towards the middle of this month with the Black National Caucuses, as well as the 50th anniversary of hip hop. I would like to bring you out as a special guest to accept some award with me up there. Oh man, that'd be glorious. I got like a small window. I'm supposed to be there just until Sunday. Tomorrow this Sunday or Saturday. Yeah, and then I gotta get back. I got another interview with the artist. And just looking, finalizing that. Some stuff hasn't been nailed down. And then supposed to go back. I got a cruise where just really going there to launch off for a 3-day cruise with the fam and whatnot. So I don't know, but yeah, as everything unfolds, a lot of that requires me getting the finances correct, because behind on payments for some of the trips. But everything's gonna be everything. Call me and let's talk about it. All right. I think it would be beneficial to give me a call and maybe get you out to some of these upcoming events or slotted in the next few months. All right. Well, yeah, we'll make that happen. The Black National Caucuses event is August 14th. Fudge sickle. Yeah. Well, that'll be difficult, but anything is possible. We're going to check the finances after these next few events. But yeah, last few checks have been going to previous bills and whatnot. But yeah, let me know when your schedule is clear. I'll lay a few projects on you. Oh man. Well, yeah, I just ended up adding to the project I've been working on, Revolution the Musical. I added like a few more numbers on it, and I'm like trying to find a pacing for something I want to do, but that is just really more so what I had in mind. I guess it would require me to switch it up. Like, so I was going to produce something of my own, but also am open to coming across like, a high energy something or other that changes paces. That would be fun. if you got anything like that and it's copyright free and all that stuff, no issues. That would be fun. Um, I'm linked up with some of these dispensaries. I'm working on a few sponsorships as well. All right, make that money. Don't let that money make you, Diamond. Uh, and I have to tell you about the product Protandium. Okay, I'm going to send you a news story about that was done. Hold on, scrolling up. Something you absolutely have to have. All right, that'll be $30 for the mention. No, and I can't wait to finish up this song with you, the political one. All right, well, yeah, that'll be glorious. Well, I talked to someone who, um, I explained my issue with the project I wrote, didn't get to direct, and it just became a big shit show. They made me edit all kinds of stuff out of there, words I couldn't even mention. So I get out of social media, get back in the theater thinking that could be a platform I could use. I run into the same fucking issues. And ironically, all of the theaters I worked at, they're all funded by the same people who I was complaining about on social media before getting shut down. So I was explaining this to someone at a different theater that I haven't worked with yet. And she was talking about how they're looking for people of color directors. And we were supposed to meet and discuss me directing my own project. But yeah, I misplaced the card I was given. But yeah, I got to make a stop at that theater at some point. Well, I work with people who work at the theater, so I just got to make my moves down there. But yeah, that's like the next move is directing. That'll be fun. And I already got like more than enough songs for like an extended musical, but I'm still adding stuff just so I have options of, because I got a pretty much written, but it's like little um, directions I can go if I'm, depending on, because it's pretty long. And when we talk about like time constraints, I understand, nobody wants to go to a 4 hour something or other. Some of it I could just like turn into a series, once I get it funded. But yeah, so I could send you a link to that. I got to figure out on. I was looking at different ways of getting it distributed, but that's something to figure out. I will never give you anything you ever have issues with, my brother. I appreciate that. Sugar T is putting together the Soul Sister Awards as well as the Hip Hop Her Awards. And I would love to have you as a Bay artist. And Nikki Lynette is also a person I would love to have nominated. Well, sugar, that's my sister. Sprinkle me, mine. Sprinkle me, mine. I will most definitely help you in every way that I possibly can. I have so many different things that I can share. A lot of my time, my thoughts get fragmented, my brother. Yeah. Well, it's a difficult world to navigate. Um, but just got to keep fighting. I'm pretty close with her. Well, there you go. And I got a family member that used to sell Be Legit computers. So yeah, it was like he used to always be at the little local fish spot. I knew D-Shot's son or one of his sons in Hillcrest. He was like a little knucklehead, but yeah, Vallejo Staples. It'd be knucking fuss. E40 is definitely one of those people I love to cross paths with. Been in it for a minute. I'm one of the people that she allows to accept the words on her behalf if she can't make it out to a function. Well, that's big. My bad. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I'm about to start making sure I got all the software available because I gotta meet up with some family, and I was gonna scan some pictures just so we can turn them into digital copies and have them to share like some kind of an online database. I still haven't tried the software, making sure it work with my computer. But yeah, I'm gonna get all that stuff verified, get it, make sure I'm like I got all my uh, uh, T's crossed and I's dotted. So uh, he just got a street named for him out in Vallejo named E40 Way. Well, that's muy muchos grande. I'm gonna have to check that out. Yes, it's like Malcolm X Boulevard. Is it? It'd be funny if they replaced Magazine Street with E40 Way, because then like a good amount of his music not gonna make sense because that's like with the street he mentioned. But yeah, E40 Way, Nuckin Fuds. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Be there to check it out this weekend. So it'll be fun touching bases with the fam. I've got to reach out to some more people as well. But yeah, thank you for showing up. And remember, you should be a conspiracy aficionado as well. Always question the information they give to you because a lot of it's bullshit. And look forward to catching you. I'll hit you up.